many seconds will take to hit the ground, right? So when we're talking about seconds, we're talking about time, okay? Then the other question that we have is what will be the velocity of the rock at the moment of the hit? So we need to find two things, the time and the velocity at this point, right before the hit, or at the same moment of the hit, right? The formulas of free fall are the same formula that we have in kinematic equations. The difference is that we change the acceleration for gravity in most of the formulas. Remember to read your flashcard formulas. I don't know if you have it. If you don't have it, you have to make another one, right, with the formula that you're gonna need. Those are the formulas that we have from free fall at this moment. So first we have to look for the information that we have. After we made the drawing in the product, you have to make the drawing according to the situation. We have this one, and then we have to look for the information that is given, right? So what information we have? So when we're talking about 9 meters high, we're talking about the distance, right? The distance in free fall, it's given by what letter?
Y.
Y, right? Y is equal 9 meters. Then what else we have? What else we have? Gravity, right? Because we're making this problem in the Earth, so we already know that the gravity on Earth will be 9.8 meters per second squared, right? And then what else we have?
YO, that is 0.
Initial Y, that will be 0 because at the beginning of the problem we have to take like this. So you have to look like a Cartesian plane just in the object, right, that is falling. So in this one, this will be the initial position that will be 0 meters and the initial velocity, right? What will be the initial velocity if you don't throw something? So if you don't throw something, the initial velocity will be 0 meters per second, right? Like that. And remember, everything that goes below the origin on the Cartesian plane will be negative, right? So when we find, for example, a velocity under the origin of the Cartesian plane will be negative. The position under the origin of the Cartesian plane will be also a position in negative, right? So now we have this one. We have the 9 meters. So what formula can we use? What we're looking for in the first?
La primera sería la de BO igual a...
We're looking for time.
Sí.
Okay, in the first one, look the first formula, right? So you have to check the formulas. If you want to use this one, we have initial velocity, we have gravity, we have time, and we have the other velocity. We have two velocities in this one, right? And we have a velocity in that, yes or no? No, right? So we cannot use this one, right? Then in the second one, we have y, we have initial y, we have initial velocity, that we have it. We have the time, that is the thing that we're looking for. We have the gravity, and we have the time, that is the other thing that we're looking for, right? So we can use this one, yes or no? Yes, right? So let's use that formula, the second formula. So that's how you have to check the formulas, right? You can take your flashcard and you have to check. I cannot use this one, I cannot use this one, maybe I can use this one, right? According to the information that you have, right? And the thing that you're looking for. So we have y is equal to initial position in y plus the initial velocity multiplied by the time minus 1/2 the gravity multiplied by the time squared, like this, right? So now we have the 9 meters, that is the y, but remember, this distance goes below the axis, the origin of the, so it will be negative 9 meters. Okay, we have the initial position in y, that is 0. We have the initial velocity, that will be 0 meters per second, right? This will be multiplied by the time minus 1/2 the value for the gravity, that is 9.8 meters per second squared, multiplied by the time squared, like this, right? So now the things that are 0, they are gone, right? This one is gone with this one, so we only have minus 9 meters is equal to negative 1/2 9.8 meters per second squared multiplied by the time squared. So the first thing that you can make will be multiply these two things, multiply the fraction by the 9.8. What will be the answer for that? Or 9.8 divided by 2. What? So it will be negative 9 meters is equal to negative 4.9 meters per second squared. All this will be multiplied by the time squared. So now this is only a number, right? We can send this number to the other side too. Divide, right? So we have a negative 9 meters divided by negative 4.9 meter per second squared. That will be equal to the time squared. So that is important to remember the signs, right? This one is negative. When we send it to divide, it will be negative, right? And this one was a negative position, and the answer will be one positive answer, because if we have a negative number at this side, you cannot find the root of a negative number. 1.8, it will be second squared, it will be equal to the time, right? Because in this one we cancel the meters and the meters, right? And then we have to send the exponent to the other side. It will be square root of 1.8 seconds squared. That would be the time, right? So the answer for the time will be what? 1.34 seconds, okay? So that is the first question, right? We already answered the first question, that is the time, right? So the time will be 1.34 seconds. We're final to that point, yes or no? Okay, so then we have another question, right? The second question is asking about what? The velocity at this moment, right? At the heat, the velocity at this point, just at the same moment that hits the, in this case, the ground, right? So we're looking for velocity.
Pregunta, ¿cómo sabe cuál fórmula le va a sacar exactamente el tiempo en el que la pelota está antes de caer y no cuando está al principio o en la mitad o otra cosa?
That will be according to what they are asking, right? In this one, at the moment of the hit, when the ball or the rock will hit something, will hit the ground, right? Because in all the trip, it's going on the sky, right? It's not touching anything, right? So in this one, the key word is the hit, okay? So in this one, we're looking for the velocity. We have some formulas that has velocity, right? In this one, velocity is equal to initial velocity minus gravity by time, right? So this, we can use this one, right? So velocity will be equal to initial velocity minus the gravity multiplied by the time. So velocity will be equal to the initial velocity. We already know that is 0 meters per second, because we don't have the velocity when we throw the object. The object is only falling, minus the value for the gravity, that is 9.8 meters per second squared, multiplied by the time that takes to hit the ground. That will be 1.34 seconds. So velocity will be equal to what? Remember that we have a negative, right? Because it's a velocity that is going on, right? So it's fine that the velocity at this moment will be a negative velocity. Negative 13.13. The unit for the velocity will be meter per second, right? So then you have to answer that questions, right? Remember that we have two questions. At the end of the problem, you must answer the two questions that you have. If you don't answer the questions, you're gonna lose points on that, right? Because at the beginning of a problem, we have two questions, right? And the goal of all this, what is the goal? Is to answer the two questions that we have at the beginning, right? What happens if you only leave it like this? Maybe I will understand, right? But another person that checked the problem won't understand what do you have, right? So you must have an answer at the end of the problem, right? So the answer will be, it will take 1.34 seconds to hit the ground. And the velocity of the rock at the moment of the hit will be 13.13 meter per second, right? It doesn't matter if you, in this answer, you don't put that negative, right? Because remember, the negative is just telling you that it's a velocity of an object that is falling, right? That's why you have an answer with that negative velocity, okay? So, like this, you have to answer the problem, right? First with the drawing, then with the information that is given, then with all the process that you use to find the two answers, and then answering the question. We're fine with that, yes or no? Okay?